I'm here today at the Aalener Jazzfest and playing in this beautiful hall with my trio. And today I'm extremely happy because we are doing it in Soundscape 360. I was really amazed by what you could do in the Atmos format, first of all. And then, together with a good friend in Malmö, whose name is Paul Sushanek, he introduced me to the possibility to present the music in immersive sound. And to be honest, I didn't know about it at that time, but the transition between mixing it in Atmos and to do it live in this way was, to me, absolutely mind-blowing. Because all of a sudden, there are so many different qualities in the immersive sound and the soundscape situation, because what you really appreciate when you're playing acoustic music is that you have more headroom, you have more place. The music breathes in a different way, and it really affects you in the way that it should, because it's coming very naturally. And that's just the acoustic situation. I'm using laptop in my band, which makes it possible to do the most incredible things, of course, in placing the sounds in different areas in the room. But all this together creates such an amazing tool, such an amazing landscape. Since I'm working with fantastic people in both in the studio and also live, that kind of transition is really much easier for me because people, as long as people understand what your musical idea is or your musical vision is, then you have the possibility to do that together. And I think this is a great thing for me as a musician, an artist, to be connected to sound engineers, to producers, in that natural way where you actually can discuss and get a lot of different inputs from each other. What you want to do, how to do that from a practical point of view. When I am writing music, I'm thinking about how it's going to be presented live already when I start to think about what to create, what kind of landscape to create. I'm not just thinking about to release it on Atmos, I'm already thinking about how that would be presented in a live situation. My outlook for the whole thing is that, just moving away from where the music is presented in two speakers. That's where you hear the music, but it's happening there on stage. But you have to look somewhere else. To me, this creates a much more natural way of presenting music overall, and much better way for an audience to actually know that I'm going to this venue where it's presented like this. It doesn't matter where I'm seated, actually, because you always hear that, yeah, unfortunately we didn't have any good seats, so we didn't really hear the music in the way that it should have been presented. And you don't have to think about those kind of things anymore. And therefore, for me, there are a lot of panning going on in my synths, for instance. There's a lot of panning going on in the effects. And now, instead of going back and forth between left and right, you can do that in a completely different way. You can make things grow from behind. You can create some movements from completely different places than you could think about before. And that is so inspiring for me to think about that, as I said, through the whole process. And that's actually something that I'm already experiencing, that, I love to be in the nature, for instance. And all of a sudden, you're surrounded by sound. And you don't have to think about that, okay, let's place this kind of sound in the left speaker. You can really place it where you heard it when you were inspired in the first place. And that kind of, all of a sudden, it's not a transition at all anymore. It's just the same environment. You are bringing the inspiration from the environment where you were inspired to the place where you actually present your art.